Hey Denny, here's a video for some spine and lower body mobility. It's really, it's gonna be really about active stretching and breath, and it will seem really rudimentary, but what I love about Pilates is that it always involves stability at the same time, not just passive stretching. And for me, I do Pilates so I can do more rigorous things. So it's the balance between all the different activities I like to enjoy. So we're going to start on your hands and your knees. And knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. And we're just going to start some spine flexion and extension. So breathing out, curving the spine up, letting the head hang, really allowing the tailbone to tuck under, breathing into those posterior ribs, and then taking a breath in, bringing the chest through the arms, going in the opposite direction, really opening up the chest, looking forward, opening. And let's do that again. So I like to exhale when I come in. And inhale, opening the chest up and forward. So don't throw the head back so much. Really think about it, the opening coming from the chest. And exhale. Again, thinking like that mid-back is what's pulling you up from here. Head and tail hang. Whew. You're going to find a little more range of motion the more that you move. And breathing in. And one last one. Exhale. And breathing in. Good. So we're going to go into the other plane. So bringing the spine into neutral. So looking straight down. Head on the spine. Head is not hanging. Bring that head on the spine. Shoulders down the back. And don't allow these front ribs to flare down. So you are actively engaged in your abs. And we're going to do a little lateral, like side-side bending of our spine. So you're just going to take the toes to one side and then look back at the toes. So it's a little bit of a turn there, come back to neutral, go the other side. So the toes move to one side, and you look back towards the toes, back to the center, and turn. So you'll feel one side contracting and one side stretching. Good. Let's do two more. Breathe into those ribs that are opening. And last one. Good. Now a little extension and rotation. So I'm going to lift one arm up and off, and you can't see my arm, but I'm stretching up towards the ceiling as much as I can. Feeling this rotation in the thoracic spine, so in the ribs, and not allowing the pelvis to move so much, so my hips aren't moving. The stretch is really coming from there, and then threading that arm down through and stretch and open. Breath in and thread the arm over. Open and thread the arm through. I'm not allowing the arm to touch the floor, so it's a little more of an active stretch. There's still tension in my arm, so you'll be able to see it better this other way. So I'm going to open this arm up, and I'm going to thread the fingertips through. They don't touch the ground. Yeah, okay. I'm a little tight on that side. And open and threading through. I just do three. You can do as many as you want. Good. Great. Let's come onto your back. We're going to do a little core activation. So hands behind the head, feet on the ground, knees bent, feet as wide as your hips, elbows slightly to the ceiling. So you're really holding your head here. So the weight of your head is really held by your arms. Take a breath in and exhale, curve your spine up, the ribs moving down and the back posterior ribs coming up and around, right? So I'm pretty high. See if you can get as high without your shoulders coming off, and really relax the head into your hands. So this shouldn't stress out your neck totally. Good, looking towards the knees, and then articulate the spine back down. So we're just practicing flexion here. So one more time on an exhale. Again, my neck is not stressed. I'm looking towards my knees. Good. And articulate the spine down. So a little eccentric work coming down. Now we're going to add a little twist. So coming up. Twisting to my right. And again, I'm really thinking of my twist coming from my torso, not from my shoulders. So my torso is moving towards the left, and I'm coming back to the center, and I'm coming back down. Let's do 2 more of those. Coming up, twist to the right, stay high, and twist to the left, back to the center, and down. 1 more. And exhale. Looking towards the knees. Twisting, thinking of these left ribs coming up and over and back to the center. And now these other ribs, the right ribs, coming up and over and back center and back down. Good. Shake it out. Arms behind the head again. The knees are going to fall to one side. And then as they come up, you come into a little chest lift. So a little simultaneous movement there. And articulate down as the knees fall to the other side. And chest lift as the knees come back up. Good. Articulate down. Knees to the right. Breath in. And exhale. Back up. Knees to the left. And back up. So only let the knees fall as far as they can go without the shoulders coming off. All right, and coming back up. My neck is starting to talk to me a little bit, so I know I'm lifting from my neck more than from my abdominals. So that's information. Good. And then let that go, let the head rest, let the arms rest for a second. Good. Bring the one knee up into like what we call a tabletop position, and then let the other knee come up into a tabletop position. We're going to do the same chest lift and twist with the knees up now. So pressing the knees together, pressing the feet together, feeling that midline of the body, hands behind the head, come into a little chest lift, and twist, up, and back down. So my legs aren't moving. Whew. All the movement is happening in my torso. My hips want to move, but I'm telling them they don't have to. Let's do 2 more sets. And up, and twist, and twist. So again, this is that idea of finding mobility with stability, right? Up, and twist, and back down. I forget. 1 more. Whew, okay. And twist, and come back down. You can bring the knees into the chest. Roll side to side. We're going to do 1 more thing here. Again, I like to think a lot of times with these twists, oftentimes, the direction is elbow to knee, and it ends up just kind of going like that. We don't really twist just because we're just taking our elbow over. I like to think of my shoulder as moving towards my knee. It won't get there, but it helps keep the integrity of the movement. So now we're going to just add the legs moving. We're going to do the same thing we just did, and then the legs move in opposition. So come into chest lift here, And my left leg is going to extend, and I'm going to turn to the right. And back center, and to the left. Back center. And you get it. You can alternate. Again, I'm thinking of lifting my shoulder to my knee instead of my elbow. It just gets a deeper twist. Good. It's hard to talk during this. And when we're set, again, you can do as many or as little of these. It's just about activating the core. Good. Bring the feet back down. We're going to do a little bit of bridging. Arms down by the side. Again, you can take or leave. You can piecemeal this and see what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and just, write down like whatever the exercises are that work. I'm just kind of throwing a bunch out there. So this is just nice and easy bridging. Arms down by the side, chest is open. The clavicle is open, so we're not shutting down the upper body, arms lightly pressing into the floor, feet pressing into the floor. We're going to peel the spine off, really initiating from that tailbone, and then start to lift the pelvis up, really standing in the legs. The pelvis is moving out. Oh, I'm getting a cramp. Yeah, that's good. That means I'm doing it right. All right, let's do that again. So coming up. Pelvis moving out and over the legs. Good. Taking a breath in. And lay the spine back down, starting from behind the chest, laying that part of the spine down. So this is again, spine articulation. Getting those lower back ribs down on the floor, and then the lumbar and the sacrum and the rest of the pelvis. Let's do a couple more there. So we're going to peel. And I'm really being aware of coming right through the middle and not pushing up through the ribs here. So it's really just about lifting and lowering the pelvis and then articulating the spine up and down. Let's do one more. Articulating up. And laying it back down. A little more mobility now of the hips. You're going to lengthen, just kind of like lengthen the foot out, keep it on the ground, and then extend the leg, lift it up, come up as high as you can go without imbalancing the pelvis. So I don't want the hip rising up like that. So you can even keep your hands right here to make sure, and then bend the knee in and heel back to the floor. Let's do that 2 more times. So extend, make sure you stay stable on the standing side. Reach that heel towards the ceiling, fold the knee in, and bring it back to the floor. Last one. So again, the pelvis stays stable. The movement is happening in the hip. And back in. Let's do the other side. Here's where extend the leg long. You'll find one side is probably more flexible than the other. And fold the knee in. Heel reaching away. Reaching up, heel towards the ceiling. Folding the knee in and down. Last one. And we're going to reverse it. Again, staying stable through the torso. Now we're going to go knee in. Heel up towards the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach. Reach that heel away from you. Keep those look back floating ribs on the floor. So don't let this happen as the leg comes down. And fold it in. Knee in. Reach it up. Heel towards the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach. Keep the abdominals engaged. Keep those lower ribs, lower the 2 floating ribs in the back. Last one. I like to flex the foot here. I feel like it feels really good. Good. And last leg. Heel. Reach, 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 reach. I think this is 3. I think we've done 3 on each side. This side, my left side is a lot tighter than my right, so I feel like I need one more. I'm just going to do one more here. And you can do that too. You're like, oh, I'm a lot tighter on one side. You just do more on that side, right? There's no need to pretend that we have to do everything perfectly symmetrical. All right, good. Shake the legs out. Shake the legs out. Let's do one last thing. And again, this is just an offer. I'm going to add, I know you have one of these because I know Mom has one of these, the rollers. And you're going to sit on it, and you're going to just lay back. So you want it to go like underneath your sacrum, which is that flat bone, that flat triangular bone, like right above your tailbone. It should feel pretty good here, right? Because you just did that bridging, and now you're being supported here. Just feel the openness in the front of the pelvis, openness in the back. I like to put my hands on the roller. I feel like it feels really good. All right, so I'm going to take one leg in here, and I sometimes even pull hands behind here, and then I'm going to extend the other leg, and I'm going to stretch it long. So the other thing we just did just prepared us for this. I wouldn't go right into this. So my left leg is very active, and my pelvis is even, and there's an extraordinary stretch along the front of my hip here. I feel it in my hip flexors. I feel it in my abdominals. It feels great because we sit so much, right? And so just pull this knee in to where it feels comfortable, and then pull that leg back in and bring this back down. Let's do the other side. Bring that knee in. You can hold on to it or you don't have to. It just gives me a little more information. I'm going to extend my leg long. I like to flex the foot. I get a little deeper stretch there. Whew, this side is tight. Feel that stretch all along the front of the hip. If this hurts your back, then please do not do it, okay? Come back in. Little added bonus. We're going to go into that same position. Leg here. You can hold on to this or not. You can hold on to it wherever feels good to you. And I'm just going to extend that leg up and bend it back in. Little active stretch here. Stretching the front of one hip and then all the back of the other leg, right? And last one, really, I like to flex the foot again. It really gets the posterior chain in a different way. Whew, okay, other side. Let me in, extend that leg long. Again, I really feel what side is. I mean, this leg is really not wanting to do this. Sometimes if I know I have a tighter side, which I know I do, right? I start with that side, do that side, do the other side, then come back to that side again. And last one, take a breath. I like doing this, bringing both knees in, just giving a little stretch here. If that doesn't feel good to you, please don't do it. And then I just kind of roll it out from underneath and just put my feet on the ground. Good. Come roll over to your side. And that's the stuff. So let me know what you think. If you want more of something else, I'm happy to think of other things. Core activation, joint stability, spine mobility, and fun times. Take what you like. If anything doesn't feel good, don't do it. All right. Love you. Bye.